Hello, everybody. This is Tom Eckert here. You're listening to my podcast, Numerology, a GPS for the soul. This is your place to learn about the true power of numerology and how to use it to bring out the best in yourself, understand your loved ones better, take wise decisions, and prepare for your future. In other words, how to live your life aligned with your true destiny. Take your time to educate yourself and share these podcasts with your friends and family so they too can enjoy the great benefits of numerology. Enjoy! Hello there, and welcome to all my listeners. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic. It's almost like a calling, like an inner prompting for you to remember that you are here for a great reason. Not only for yourself, but for the entire cosmos, for the entire of humanity. Now, before we jump into this very fascinating topic, if you are new here, then first of all, welcome. Welcome to my family, to my numerology family. In this podcast, we discuss numerology as a path for inner transformation, inner growth, spiritual maturation, self-understanding. My particular approach is to make numerology accessible and applicable, grounded for everyday life matters and topics, so that you can actually use numerology to understand your life, your relationship, your career, the deepest questions that are burning inside of you on a whole different level to become a more conscious human being. Having said that, if you have a wish to dive deeper into numerology, there are a few things I want to recommend. The first one is get yourself a numerology reading. A numerology reading is one of the best ways to understand what your numbers tell about you, your life, your destiny, the way ahead of you, where you've come from, and where you headed towards, and much, much more than that. You can get a numerology reading directly from me. The link to my website and in order to contact me is provided in the episode and podcast description. Next, if you are attracted to spirituality and want to make out of it a career as well, if you happen to be defining or redefining your current career and wish to pursue numerology as a career or a side career, I'm reminding you, or I want to let you know, that I offer a full path of certification from beginner to expert numerologist. Again, check out the link in the podcast and episode descriptions. And lastly, if you enjoy this podcast and want to keep learning more quality numerology, make sure to click the follow or subscribe button on the platform you're listening from and become part of my numerology family and get updated with my latest podcast episodes. Okay, my friends, without further ado, let us dive in. My dear ones, nothing about you is random. Nothing about you is a mistake. Boom. A great statement. Who you are was carefully orchestrated and put together with great care and intention for your soul's growth and completion. We very often look at others trying to copy and imitate, believe that we lack and others have what we don't. And this cannot be further away from the truth. Your numbers are a song like no other. They are the song of you. And whether your song is loud or quiet, complex or simple, long, short, a heavy metal song or a chill, jazzy one, well, that song is you. And that's what matters. It is what you are meant to be. In fact, you don't really have a choice about it. You will be what you are, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, or even whether you notice it or not. You see, you are a child of this universe, and this universe always makes flowers, produces flowers that are meant to spread their fragrance for themselves, but also for the entire cosmos, for all of humanity. You can't negotiate with your numbers. That's something very important to understand. Your numbers, which is basically who you are designed by the cosmos. And they represent not only your unique design, but the intention behind your design from the cosmic perspective. They represent your function and role, not only for your sake, but for the whole, for the sake of the whole. None of us is an isolated island. We live in an interconnected universe, interconnected matrix of existence. Each and every one of us is part of the greater cosmic organism. And being your numbers is what the universe wanted you to be for the whole. The more you understand your numbers, the better you will come to know your unique contribution to the whole. And my friends, knowing this contribution is an incredible place to be in, a happy place to be in, a liberating place to be in. Now, let's talk about resisting your numbers, something I often see as a numerologist. Now, if you still resist your numbers, if you don't like one of them, or you wish you had other numbers, you think that having, for example, a 4 is bad, or having like a karmic debt is bad, or having a master number is good, which is also a way of not really aligning with your numbers. Again, whenever you have an opinion like, oh, this is good, or oh, this is bad, you're resisting your numbers in a subtle or gross manner. So if you are resisting, and most of us resist until we stop, and it's a process. So again, forgive yourself, be patient, be calm about it, be compassionate, and slowly progress with, in this kind of trajectory of embracing your numbers. So you must realize that if you are resisting, you're resisting in vain. You can't not be who you are. And being who you are is the happiest thing for you. So even if you have like an opinion in your mind that this or that number, again, I always use number 4 because it's like the black sheep of numerology, usually. So let's say you don't like it, that you have a 4 or whatever, okay? Then you simply don't really understand your numbers. You don't understand yourself yet. Because the moment you'll understand the 4, and the moment you'll understand it's the most intimate thing for you, because that's such an intrinsic part of you, you will simply relax into it, and you will feel happier, and in fact, the happiest ever. Now, again, please, let's be grounded here. I promised you groundedness in the introduction to this podcast. And so don't imagine like a state where you're always happy, like happy, joy, walking like, some kind of like happy-go-lucky in the street. It's not about that. It's about happy in a deep sense, meaning there's a deep contentment, a silent contentment. You know that you're doing the right thing. You know you're in the right place. That's real happiness. It's not some kind of like ultra excited state. If you don't like your numbers, this is usually a conditioning that needs to be released, a baggage and ideas that have nothing to do with your truth. It can be things you heard from society or expectations you've seen from society, right? For example, if a 4 is more, searching for stability, but around you, sexiness, sexuality, and being cool, whatever, right, is the trend. Of course, you're going to develop a conditioning where you feel that something about you is not as, fitting, and you'll try to kind of fit or fight against your numbers. That's just an example. Your parents might have told you some things about you that condition you to think that something about you is not good, you have to be otherwise, and so on. We all know that. So the thing is, we need to first of all become aware of our resistance. And when I say resistance, don't just take it personal, like, oh, I'm resisting, like I'm guilty. It's not a guilt-tripping kind of, inner prompting what I'm saying here, like to watch yourself, to be aware. It's more like just understand that resistance is a condition that we all live in. Due to contraction, just the fact of living in a physical body is not an easy thing. There's so many ideas and opinions and whatnot around us and expectations. Of course, that we develop, resistance. So our job is to let go of this baggage, of these ideas, of these conditionings, and simply come to a place where we really feel our numbers directly, rest into them. In other words, the calling of this episode is like to tell you, my friend, surrender to your numbers. The more you accept your numbers, the better you know them, the more intimate you get with them, the more you'll notice you're becoming unified, crystallized, rooted in your own element. And boy, is that an incredible place to be in. No number is bad. No number is less valuable than another, except if it's a 27-9. Just kidding. If those of you who already know me know that I have like a special kind of like affinity with 27-9, but again, no number is better than another. Just had to throw this joke in. Just couldn't resist it. Sorry. So numerology offers you a direct opportunity to discover who you are. It's written right before you. No guessing games. It's all written there in the language of numbers. Again, that's the genius of numerology. And our job is to really surrender to that. Surrender is almost like a direct outcome of becoming aware of the resistance. Now, before I keep going, I want to just remind you shortly that you can get yourself a numerology reading, and that this is one of the best ways to feel the life-altering effects and power of numerology. And you can contact me directly through my website link to book yourself a reading. Again, the links are provided in the episode and podcast descriptions. Also, if you wish to pursue numerology as a career or a side career, I'm reminding you that I offer a full path of certification from beginner to expert numerologist. You can contact me through the same links that I just mentioned. And if you enjoy this podcast and want to keep learning more quality numerology, make sure to click the follow or subscribe button on the platform you're listening from and become part of, well, none other than my numerology family. And get updated with my latest podcast episodes. Having talked about surrender, let's move on to the next important thing. It is your duty to know yourself. Sounds like a big statement, but it's actually an empowering statement. Knowing yourself is the only way to happiness, wholeness, freedom, purpose, love. And therefore, understanding your numbers deeply and thoroughly is or should be your obligation to yourself. Not out of because somebody told you, but because it's your freedom. You realize, boy, I mean, if I know my numbers well, I'm going to be happier. That's what I mean by duty. It's almost like, wait a second, that's what really makes me happy. I'm going to invest all of myself into knowing myself, because any other option is just less than okay, less than good. It's a commitment of love. How long will you continue living life at random? Right? How long will you avoid being yourself? How long will you live in denial of what you really are? Today is the day to know yourself. It is always today. Surrendering and accepting your design, what you are born to be, will not only make you happy, but will also make others happier as well. It'll make the entire universe happy because you are part of an organism. If one cell in our body is malfunctioning, it can destroy literally the entire body. Just imagine the magnitude of one cell going berserk, right? You are a cell in the cosmic body, in the body of humanity. Being yourself is making yourself happy, humanity happy, the cosmos happy. Some people won't realize it. They won't realize that they are happier because of you. In fact, sometimes when you become yourself, it might agitate some people. People might even resist it. But on a far deeper level, the soul level, they will be happier. I promise you. Since being yourself, you are helping others be themselves as well. That is just mind-blowing when you really let it sink. You're born to be yourself, my friend. It's all written in the numbers. And when you are yourself, or the more you are yourself, you are aligned, you are happier, and the people around you are happier. Some of them consciously, some of them unconsciously on the soul level. But the more you are yourself, you're able to project more goodness, more light, more love, and more wisdom and inspiration on anyone else. And it's not even happening as a kind of volitional action, but your aura or your energetic field simply radiates a kind of wholeness that it hadn't had before. And when we are all in our element, we function in harmony and unity within ourselves and with one another. So we're also seeing here a potential vision for world peace or world harmony if we get to know ourselves. If we use numerology, if we use the numbers to really become self-aware human beings. The deeper you study numerology, the more you will get to feel yourself directly. The better you know the numbers, the better you'll know your most inner self. And the deeper you know the numbers and yourself, the better you will know others and feel them as well. This way, you'll be able to help others know what they too are born to be. You will also be a beacon of the message to others that they too are born to be themselves. They too can learn to feel themselves, can learn to know who they are through the numbers and then through direct contact, because the numbers are pointing to an experiential reality. You feel your numbers, you feel yourself. That's the motto. That's the code. Every day, my friend, is an opportunity to take a step towards the truth of your being. Today is such a day. Life is far too short to waste our time living a life that isn't ours, believing we are something that we're not. So be brave, be loving to yourself, and start exploring your numbers. Remember, you are born to be yourself. It is written in the numbers. And as always, I hope that this episode, like all the ones that came prior to it, keeps inspiring you to grow, to dive deeper and deeper into numerology and to share it with the world. And don't forget, if you wish to get a numerology reading, contact me directly through my website links. They are provided in the podcast and episode description. If you wish to pursue numerology as a career, you can contact me as well to know all about my full path of certification as a numerologist with the same links. And of course, my friend, if you enjoyed this podcast today and want to keep learning more quality numerology, make sure to click the follow and subscribe button on the platform you're listening from and become part of my lovely growing numerology family and get updated with my latest podcast episodes. Other than that, I wish you well wherever you are. And as always, I'll see you in the next episodes. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, and you want to go deeper into numerology, check out my website, tom-eckert.com. You can also book a numerology reading or even study numerology yourself through my courses. I'll see you in the next episode.